Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and our next guests are the president, CEO, and founders of the Tito App, and they join us today to highlight how their app is taking photojournalism to the next level and how it's helping New Yorkers navigate the city to find the resources that they need during this pandemic. Please welcome to the show, Platon Levitsky and Victor Chu. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having us. Excited to be here. Appreciate it.
Tell us about the Tito app. How did you come up with the name, and how did you get it all started?
So I think Victor, that story starts with you.
All right, there you go.
I used to be a photojournalist for the New York Daily News a few years ago, and as a photojournalist, a photographer that would arrive at emergency scenes, breaking news, fires. By the time I got there, whatever happened already happened. So this is something that happened to a lot of other fellow photographers. And what we had to do was to find people, bystanders, witnesses in the area to see if they have the footage, if they have the images. But a lot of times, by the time we got there, these people would have already left. Why not create an app that connects the news media companies like this news to the witnesses and bystanders and the people who had the content in their phones? So that was kind of how the idea was born.
So one day Victor calls me with this idea. I said, wow, that's interesting. I'm not a photojournalist. I said, that's an interesting idea. We kind of started exploring and noodling on it, and then it evolved. We quickly discovered that actually when people upload newsworthy photos and videos, there's great information, right, of things happening that absolutely should be made available to people because it's useful, because it's interesting. And we thought, hey, let's, we thought it can't be just a portal where you upload something and maybe you get paid, maybe you don't. Why not create a new kind of a reimagined social network, a real-time view with a map and a feed of all the interesting, newsworthy, and important stuff that's happening around you? And eventually, we took a deep breath, we made the leap, and we started building it.
There you go. And now we have it. So people can go and they can download the app. And upon doing so, they will learn what?
So today, the app has two kinds of sources of content. One is things that are happening in New York. And right now we're focused just on New York. Openings, closings, celebrations, protests, spontaneous fun events, celebrity sightings, whatever kind of interesting, important things are happening that is user generated. This is supplemented by our content team that shows other useful information. For example, where we're about to roll out COVID hotspot areas, so people know if they're in that, or which restaurants have heat lamps, right? Because we still want to eat outside and things like that. So it's a map with pins of look around you and you're like, hey, this stuff is either happening or it's useful. And then there's a visual feed with all this stuff. And here's how it works. If you're walking down the street and let's say you see Barack Obama and you're like, oh my God, that's Barack Obama. You take out your phone, you take a picture. Our technology verifies the metadata, the timestamp and the location. And our content team says, hey, that's probably him. We drop a pin on the map and then everybody in the area gets a push notifications.
Interesting.
You can do whatever you want. You could do nothing. You could go run and harass them. You could run the other way, whatever it is. You can even take a picture and maybe the news might buy it.
Yeah. And how do you determine what's true and what's not? They always talk about fake news and all that.
Sure.
How do you determine or make a conscious decision as to if this thing is true or if it's fake?
Yeah. So it starts with our technology. Our technology ties the photo to your phone, to that location, to that date. So if you try to download something from the internet, that's not going to fly. It has to come from your phone. Now, if you take a picture of somebody from the back and say it's Barack Obama, that's not good enough for us. So there has to be some verification. Now, 99.9% of our uploads, there's nothing to make up. It's pretty self-evident. The picture tells its own story. The video tells its own story.
Yeah.
And we just verify that it's from here, from this phone, from this time.
Yeah. Has the concept changed somewhat since its inception? Because you had one thought in the beginning. How did you modify that? Did it change from that beginning?
Yeah. We constantly innovate. We launched our beta right before COVID really came, and wound up within a couple of weeks, an event-based platform in the city, totally devoid of events.
Yeah.
And that's when we decided to really lean into COVID and make it useful. And that's the key word. We want to build, New York's most useful social network. So we started showing people testing sites, which were hard to get in the early days, where they could get food and literally where they could buy sanitizer and toilet paper during the great shortage of 2020,
Yeah.
right? And
Hey,
that
where's
was
the Lysol?
yeah,
Lysol,
exactly. And over time, we keep hunting for stuff that is going to be useful to people. So, back then it was testing sites. Now that's widely available. During leading up to the election, we shared early voting sites. Now we're thinking about COVID-related things like hotspots. We're thinking about heat lamps. We're thinking about fun and safe things to do during the holiday season. And of course, this is all kind of driven by a content team. Truly, the most interesting stuff is what the people themselves upload. The idea is, this is the community sharing information with the community through our platform. This is people helping each other and informing each other in a way that's never been really done before.
Hey, Victor, it has the information on school closings and everything. That's hot in the news right now. Is that right?
Yeah, that's important right now. Other things we also can you
yeah so things like school closings, we are not yet kind of rolling out these big PSA updates. Everything we do is localized. So this is something around you. I think everyone kind of knows that schools are closing on the date. Now, if there was a situation where some schools would be open and some schools were closed and it was difficult to navigate, that's where something like Tito can be pretty powerful.
Yeah. And are you thinking about taking this far beyond New York City? I mean, we have the central focus right now, and we can find out what's happening all around New York City. Are you going to expand it?
100%. We
all
just
right.
got it. We want to build, a good, strong community here. We want to make sure that we're doing it in the way that's super useful to people. Mm-hmm. And once we're like, hey, kind of this is great in New York, that's when we'll look at rolling it out to other big cities and maybe even, suburban areas.
And how do you fund this?
So we bootstrapped kind of the initial beta, meaning Victor and I put our own capital in it. Victor sold his car. That was a little hard to say goodbye to, I think. Mm-hmm. We, over the summer, we were fortunate enough to raise a round from angel investors. That kind of gives us enough capital to build it out, and we'll likely be raising further rounds from institutional investors in the future.
We need a GoFundMe so we can get Victor another car so he can move around.
Yeah. I've been taking the subway and
it's not the same.
Yeah. Well, I guess you can get more content by taking the subways and buses, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I use my phone all the time to take photos and capture whatever I see, and anything newsworthy, interesting, and important, I share it to Tito, just like our users.
Yeah, Victor, you have a great eye for photography, right? For different scenes and shots. What stands out in your mind? What's one of your few favorite shots?
I mean, we had, during COVID, we leaned into COVID and kind of saw many beautiful, stunning and captivating photos taken by our users. A couple that stuck with my mind were, it was just like a nurse walking across Central Park with all the tents in the background. Wow. This would be like friends at home working out at the gym, spotting each other, or maybe like the naked cowboy in Times Square just playing by himself to a crowd of zero. So it was just a whole different world during COVID, and we got to see New York through the eyes of a New Yorker.
All right. Thank you guys so much. That Tito app, we're looking forward to maybe downloading that app and checking it all out. And I would just like to see the whole city and then maybe expand beyond that. Platon Levitsky and Victor Chu, thank you guys so much. You got the Tito app. Good luck to you. And where can we go for more information on what you're doing? Can we see it on a website or social media?
Yeah, www.titoapp.org, or just type in Tito in the Apple App Store and you'll see our app. It's got a blue icon. It says Tito in big letters. You can't miss it.
Guys, good luck with everything. We'll be looking forward to working with it and
Thank you
checking
very
it all
much.
out. All right.
Thank you,
Stay
Dr.
safe. God bless. And thank you for your
Sure.
service.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll take a break. I've got a whole lot more coming your way next on Open